So hi everyone, my name is Tasha Smutney. I am a double gold consultant and a two-time IATAN card holder. You know that we all love RoomRes on this team, but we don't always focus on a somewhat newer aspect of RoomRes, which is their tours. Okay. They just launched this. We found out about it last year at convention in the summer. So it's only about a year, a little less than a year old. They've been offering tours, right? Typically, we're using RoomRes for hotel only stays or multiple destinations or some instant commission opportunities because it is a wholesale site. But they have these great tours. Now, these don't include airfare, so you would have to book airfare separately. But they do have these great tours that are escorted tours. Okay. So there's different options. They have some that they call, guaranteed departure, meaning as long as there's a minimum number of people, that tour is going to go. Some of them are private tours, some of them are shared tours. Excuse me. So when you come down, they give you some recommended tours. All right. But then also what you can do, you can come in here and click destination and it'll show you all the places they offer tours to. So, if you're looking for a specific area, they go to, they do categorize it by continent. Okay. They do not currently have tours within the US. So these are all international. But, Thailand, Indonesia, those are like really popular areas right now. So let's say we were looking for something there. And then in here, we would come in and give a date range. So right now it's giving me just this 3 months, but I can also click anytime show all tours and I can search. It does also give you some other filters while this is searching. It has physical difficulty level. So it could be all levels. And they have from what they consider very easy, moderate, and challenging physical levels. All right. So depending on who your client was, maybe it's a group of older people that they're physically able, but they can't handle a challenging trip. They want that very easy. You can filter those things. You can also filter categories: adventure, arts and culture, city break, where they're specifically exploring a city, culinary, something that's specifically a food-based, day trips and excursions included, or a mini cruise. Like there's so many. Maybe you're doing somebody for pilgrimage or religion trip. All those different things are available. Self-drive. So some of them, they could be renting a car and driving themselves. Again, that city break or a private tour, which would be just their group. And then you can filter the length of time. So now this has, different ones. Thailand Grand Tour, small group tour, English only. So it's telling you they are going to be in English. It's a 1 week and 3 days, guaranteed departure. It tells you where it leaves from and goes to. All right. Gives you a little summary, but if you click continue, it's going to give you more details. All right. So these are very similar. So they have that same tour in other languages too, if for some reason you were booking people that weren't English speaking. They are based on double occupancy, but there is a single supplement that they wouldn't pay quite the single person in a double occupancy situation, but they wouldn't pay double. Whereas most cruise lines, if it's a single person, they're paying double. It's not typically that. So just looking at other ones that are here. So this one's Thailand and Cambodia, a private tour, multiple countries, a week and 6 days. All right. They have shorter things, Bangkok Basics, City Break Private Tour, 4 days in Bangkok. All right, look how cheap that is. These are things too, some of these shorter ones, you could potentially, if you get the timing right, you could do a 4-day here, then allow travel time for your client to get to another location and combine them. Or maybe they're doing a cruise somewhere that ends in one of the cities, not necessarily these ones, and they want to add on a land portion. These are also great options if that's not available from the cruise line. All right. So this one it combines Bangkok Basics, which is this one, with another one going to another part of Thailand to the beach. And this one's a small group tour as opposed to a private tour. 8 days starting at just under $500 a person. Like, that's a pretty good, we might advertise that one. All right. But we're taking a look first at the things that are offered. Private tours, small group tours. All right. So these are all looking at those areas because that's what I put in. Phuket 4-day beach package starting at $140 per person. All right. So this includes their lodging, yes. That includes everything, not everything, because not all meals and stuff. But when we click, so let's look at continue. We'll see what this one includes. You do want to read that. It does not necessarily include, definitely doesn't include flights to get there for the start and end. Some of them might include if a flight were required between places. So here's what's included in this one. So it's 4 days. It includes 3 nights accommodations in Phuket. It gives a sample hotel, so you can look that up, or similar pricing, a 4-star hotel. They consider, because you can choose they can choose Superior Hotel or Deluxe Hotel when they start. Optional add-on, a post night. They could add an additional night at a 4-star hotel or a deluxe hotel. It includes 3 breakfasts. It includes their transport. Either way, it includes arrival and departure, shared transfer in an air-conditioned bus from the Phuket International Airport. And there's a meet and greet. So it does not include more than breakfast, but it is including the hotels and breakfast. And then it gives you this itinerary of what's included. All right. So it says you'll find your driver holding a sign with your name on it. You'll be transferred to your hotel. You settle in before spending the rest of this first day at your leisure. All right. So that means you arrive and there's nothing that's part of the tour except getting to your hotel. All right. And I love that this shows the maps as well. All right. So day 2, you indulge in a tasty breakfast before a full day to discover Phuket at your own pace. Don't miss the opportunity to discover the wonders of the beautiful area. Plenty of excursions available to book on the spot. So not all of it is an escorted tour. You have to check them to see what they are. Now, day 3, delicious breakfast at the hotel, slow day of rest and relaxation, or you could choose one of the following tours at an additional price. All right. Full day. I'm not even going to pretend I'm pronouncing these right. Phi Phi Island by speedboat. It is English. Shared activity. It tells you what it includes. Pickup from hotel's lobby. Transfers included meals, lunch, casual dress code, light clothing recommended. Sightseeing by speedboat around the islands. Do some swimming inside a famous lagoon. Viking cave, monkey beach. During our excursion, you will stop 1 to 2 times for snorkeling and swimming. Buffet lunch at the restaurant will be served during the day. Leisure time for relaxation and swimming on the beach of Bamboo Island. All right. So it gives an optional, or you can go to your things and do what you want. Last day, and they transfer you to the airport. And then it gives notes about what's included, talks about the accommodations, and then what's excluded. So this one does not include a lot for the tour itself. Okay. But there are others that are more inclusive of other things, not just. This is mostly the hotel and the transfers from the airport with an optional extra cost excursion and breakfast each day. All right. So that one I don't think is really a tour. Okay. But let's look at some others. So let's look at the one that had the multiple countries and see how that works, right? All right, so Thailand tour and Cambodia. So this is a private tour, multiple country. It does start at just under 2,000 per person. If we click to see what it includes, it is 13 days long. All right. So exploring the two oldest kingdoms in Southeast Asia, Thailand and Cambodia, tells you where you start. It highlights things like UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which are very famous sites that are certified historical. Hysterical. All right. And it says the highlights, but what I like to look at more is like the actual itinerary. So here, and what's included. All right. So this one includes an English speaking guide during the activities on day 2 through 8. So that's telling me right now there's some activities on your own. It includes your accommodation for 12 nights. And then it tells you where. So day 1 to 2, you're in Chiang Rai, Thailand, and it tells you what kind of hotel. Then day 3 to 4, Chiang Mai, Thailand, and the level or potential hotel. Day 5, Sukhothai, Thailand. I apologize to anyone here who speaks this language that I'm probably butchering. It tells you a potential hotel or similar 4-star. Day 6. So some of these are like one night somewhere. Ayutthaya, Thailand, Superior Hotel. Day 7, Kanchakabura. Day 8 to 9 in Bangkok. And then day 10 to 12, they're going to Cambodia and Siem Reap. And then for meals, it includes 12 breakfasts, 7 lunches in local restaurants, day 2 to 8, specifically tells you what days. All right. 7 dinners upon an additional cost, full board, optional, extra. So there's the option of getting those or full board, full everything. All right. Now it's telling you they're getting transportation from the Chiang Rai International Airport on day 1, air-conditioned private transportation and transfers as stated in the program day 2 to 8, departure private transportation to Bangkok International Airport day 10, arrival and departure from Siem Reap International Airport, escorted by English-speaking local guide day 10 and 14. So this is telling me right now that they're not getting this. They have to get the flight between Bangkok and Cambodia. So it's important to see that stuff when you're talking about it to a client or advertising. So it's giving them all entrance fees to these places in the itinerary, food offerings with locals. It's telling you when it's offered. And there's a meet and greet on day 1 and day 10. So there are also those meet and greets. They're meeting with people who are also on these tours. So even if there is time on their own, they're meeting with other people that are on that trip. Okay. So if we look at this itinerary, first they arrive, comfortable transfer to your centrally located hotel, leisurely day exploring the beautiful place, maybe explore the heart of the old town, which dates from the reign of King Mangrai in the 13th century, and it gives you some recommendations. They stay overnight. Then it tells you what they're doing. This is a 6-hour trip. All right. Enjoy breakfast at the hotel before heading to the center to admire the iconic monument of the king, en route to the Hill Tribe Museum and Education Center. So it gives you and tells you everything they're doing. And then they do go back to that same city for their overnight. And then it tells you what they're going to do. They're going to the next place. It's 4 hours away. And it tells you anything they do on the way, right? Stop at the magnificent Wat Rong Kun, a dazzling temple. All right. On arrival, they're going to go to another temple in the country, a sacred location at the top of a mountain from where you can appreciate stunning panoramic views of the city. It does tell them right here to reach the temple, you have to climb a 309-step staircase. Or you can use the cable car, which is included, so they don't have to. Then they go on a boat for a cruise along the river, stop at a farm to savor delicious noodle curry and enjoy interesting dance performances. After a walk through local flower and produce market, return to the hotel around 6 p.m. So it tells us what's included. This one has a lot more than the other one, obviously. Right now they have another tour that's about an hour during that day. I like that it has maps along the way too. Then it tells them to go from here to their next place. They're going to stay overnight, 4.5 hours, but they're stopping in other places along the way. All right. So they do offer these, and this is a private tour. So when we look down here, let's just keep scanning down. All right, so it does say transportation to the airport in Cambodia is not included. It needs to be arranged by the client directly. So we would be arranging flights between the two countries. That's not included in this. All right. But then it tells you the things that are included once they get to Cambodia for the end of the trip. And then it gives us notes as the travel agent. Okay. So it tells us everything we need to know. It talks about the accommodations. It tells you specifically on the last day, checkout is 12 p.m. The minimum check-in time at the airport is 2 hours before flight, and international airport is 2.5 hours before flight. So they're telling us what we need to know. It does give you an option for double or triple rooms, and it's telling us specifically the triple rooms are typically a double with an additional bed or sofa bed. Their comfort conditions are lower than the international standards of a triple room. So letting us know those things so that we can let our clients know, right? And then what's excluded. So while they're giving them the transfers in Thailand, there's not going to be a guide necessarily. Transportation from Thailand to Cambodia to be arranged by the client. There is not a tour guide in Cambodia, and those entrance fees, any visa fees, domestic flights, international flights. So it tells you drinks during meals unless specified, optional tours, city taxes are payable on the spot, any visit not mentioned, gratuities, expenditures of a personal nature. So obviously spending money, travel insurance, that kind of thing. All right. So let's take a look, though. I'm going to go back to our main page about tours. All right. So let's go. We can do where I'm going to do a training on Europe later. I'm not going to do a European though we could do that. but maybe we can find something in Africa or South America. Costa Rica is huge right now too. So let's do that to see if we can get an ad. Because I like you to see like different options as well. All right. So Costa Rica does typically have like the east side and the west side. I don't know that I want to advertise, a self-drive, though that frog is super cute. All right, let's see what else we have. Though they might all be self-drive in Costa Rica. Look at that little crab. Romantic adventure in Costa Rica, 1 week and 1 day. Starting at just under 3,000 per person. All right, tropical Costa Rica in 5 days, short break. This looks like this is a guided tour for 5 days. And remember too, you could add these on to maybe then they're going to go to an all-inclusive or something. I'm just looking to see what else there is. Costa Rica is a very hot travel spot right now as well. It doesn't want to load anything else. Let's go with that 5 day. Let's see what it includes. And we can go all the way through and see what it would do. So it's an easy tour level. So it says, enjoy the highlights of Costa Rica. On the 5 day itinerary, wonderful jungles, volcano, opportunities to spot wildlife, great natural beauty, and every destination has something unique to offer. Whether you're watching an aerial volcano whilst bathing in a hot spring or relaxing on the pristine jungle of Tortuguero, Costa Rica really is nature lover's paradise. I did recently book somebody not on a tour through here, but in Costa Rica, and that was their biggest things. Like they wanted nature sightings from the resort. They wanted to be close to the national parks. Really, really important to them. Okay. All right. One of Costa Rica's most popular ecotourism destinations, a must stop while in Costa Rica. Canals, lagoons, dense rainforests, and had the chance to see turtles hatch. Oh, I booked this for me. All right. And here's what's included. Oops. So we have operation with English and Spanish speaking guides during the activities on day 2 through 4. You will be accompanied by local guides for the activities only. There's no guarantee that you'll be part of a group or part of the same group during your tour. So that's important to let your clients know. So we have 4 nights, day 1 through 2, they're in San Jose. And then day 3, they're in Tortuguero. They get 4 breakfasts, 3 lunches at local restaurants, and 2 dinners. Arrival and departure, shared transportation from the San Jose airport, shared transfers in and out between areas, land and both boat. They're getting entrance fees. There's a meet and greet, and the hotel taxes are included, which is not always the case. All right, so it's about 30 minutes from the airport. Most of theirs, it's you travel that day of and then you relax, all right? On day 2, they have an 8-hour excursion. All right, they're going to get picked up fairly early. Shared transfer to your next destination, La Fortuna de San Carlos, home of the wonderful Arenal volcano. They'll also stop at a famous town known as the birthplace of Costa Rica's artisans. Many arts and crafts and souvenirs. World's largest ox cart, according to the Guinness Book. All right. Continues arriving in the small town of La Fortuna, stopping enjoy lunch in a cozy restaurant, magnificent view of the volcano. After lunch, they go to a hot spring in the area, which is also something that people always want to do when they go to Costa Rica, is the hot springs. All right. Perfect ending, going back to San Jose. Wonderful dinner with a grand view of the volcano so that you don't miss any opportunity to look casual at the classically shaped volcano. On the day 3, it's a 3.5 hours by land and then an hour and a half by boat to get to their next location. All right. They're going to the national park. They're going to get breakfast on the way. Boat shared with other guests that will take you to the lodge where you will immerse yourself in a perfectly quiet, laid back, and tranquil stay. Check into the hotel to enjoy delightful lunch. Afterwards, meet their guide for a visit to the small picturesque village and return to the lodge to relax, dinner included. And then day 4, they're going to head back to San Jose. So they get one night over, but they go through the canals of the national park and take your best shot of a real Caribbean sunrise. Return to the lodge around 7 a.m. to enjoy breakfast. Around 9:30, shared transfer boat and land. And they're headed back to San Jose. And then day 5, they head home. It gives us some notes. I like to look at the excursions. So anything not in the itinerary, their flights, visas if they need them, personal spending money, alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, mineral water, camera, video camera fee if they're providing pictures where they are, unless noted, any optional tours. So let's go through this one so we can make an ad. So it gives you all the possible departures. Let's go a little, see how far out we can go. So this looks like I can only book this one in July or August of this year. Okay, which is fine. These are the departure days. So if we do the 30th, that's going to be the start. That's going to be the start of Labor Day weekend. So we could do Thursday the 29th. That would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would be Tuesday. So they would take like an extended Labor Day weekend. We're going to go with the double room, assuming it's 2 people traveling, 2 adults, right? We're at $1,470 so far. Pick up at the San Jose airport. Now, if you were to be booking this for somebody, you could then add another room if there's a bigger group going. It's telling us our total price. We're still getting that 11% commission, right? And you're earning RoomRes rewards. If we click book, it'll give us same as what you would do with other RoomRes things. You put in the first passenger, the second passenger. For this one, I believe you have to pay in full because it's so close. We'll try to find one further out after. No charge if you cancel before August 7th. 50% of the booking cost from August 7th to the 12th. 100% of the booking charge cost. You lose everything if you cancel after August 13th. Not a horrible booking policy. Even though we're not going to book this all the way, I'm just going to see what happens. Guess 1. Guess 2. I was expecting it to yell at me, but it doesn't look like it is. So now we have a draft itinerary, not held or paid for, right? Multi-tour details. Total price, $1,470. You can pay and confirm, or you can book now and pay later in 31 days. So they do not have to pay right away. They could pay 31 days would put us at like July 22nd or 23rd or 24th. That's pretty good. That's like just a month before the trip, right? Now you can do the same things you would do with other things on RoomRes. You could create a customer quote. You could add another product if they wanted a longer trip than this. We could add on other hotel stays in Costa Rica. Okay. Or we could add on, RoomRes has activities. For right now, we are just focusing on the tours. So if I click create customer quote, all right, I'm going to leave what's there, include the name, include the dates, total price. Yes. Would you like to add prices that you are quoting the customer for each element? We don't really, I'm going to, because I'm going to do the next. I'm not going to include that. Oh, this one doesn't let me add extra things on, does it? So with other ones on RoomRes, it'll let me add things like the airfare, but this one does not seem to do that. But either, oh, see more content options. Would you like to include the map? Yes. Would you like to include content for another element you're including in the package? Yes. So let's say, so they're going the 29th. I'm just going to make up airfare. All right. Let's just say it's American Airlines and I'll put a random flight number. I would find a real one, obviously. Flights from, I don't know, New Orleans to San Jose, Costa Rica, with one stop. I would put whatever it really is. And let's say that their flights are costing them I would put the total here for the round trip. So maybe it's costing $800 total for the two people. All right. Though they do actually give you a spot to do real flight information, you could do that. That would actually be a better option. So I'm going to click no for this one because we're not actually putting that one. So the 29th. And I would fill it in and then I would put whatever that information is. So their trip goes to the 2nd, right? But just so you can see what it looks like. So let's say it's $800, not 8,000, 800. Generate quote. All the time in RoomRes, you can do a quote like that with everything, not just their tours. Okay. So this is what you would send to the client. It did add that together with the flights. So it's saying the total cost is $2,270 for the two people. Though it says prepared for one. Oh, for guest one, because I called them guest one. And it gives them all the details. Oh, I would want to see that little baby turtle. Sea turtles are one of my top 3 favorite animals. Gives them the details and they could view the map of where they are. All the details of every day and the notes, what's included and excluded. Now, I would not just send this to my client before I got them back on the phone. Same as always. We're still getting them back on the phone to deliver the quote. But what I would likely do is I would send this to them right as we were getting on the phone. I would say, would you like me to text this to you or email it to you so that you can look at it while we talk about the trip? Okay. Now, this is not something they could go book on their own. RoomRes is a travel agent only site, but we're still always delivering quotes on the phone. So what we would do here, if we're going to make an ad, I'm not going to do it with the flights because I would say flights are additional, right? So I am going to make a Canva. And I'm going to do, I like to do ones that give me a good amount of space. Let's see, Facebook, not profile pic. All right. So I'm going to look tropical. And I like this background because it doesn't have a lot going on and I can change everything I want. I'm going to ungroup it because I don't want all that together. And I'm going to actually use that same name, Tropical Costa Rica 5-day trip. Or 5-day tropical Costa Rica trip. And I might change the coloring so that it shows up more. And then I'm going to get some pictures and some information. I want to go to the sloth sanctuary and help take care of the sloths. I don't care if it's in Costa Rica. I just want to go.
I know, me and my youngest daughter, we are going to do that next year. So,
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to get the volcano. Ooh, should we get, I like that picture better, even though the other one shows it doing that. And I like to highlight the wildlife because that's a big part of going here. 1, 2. I'm going to have to do the baby turtle. 3. Close up of the, which frog? This one or the first one? What do you think? I'm kind of leaning towards that one, but they're both cute.
yeah, first one.
All right. It's a group effort. All right. So I'm going to go to my uploads. I'm going to pull those in. So I like that on Google Chrome, when you download things, you get this little down arrow, and I can just pull them in right away. All right. I'm going to place the pictures first so that then I have room for the words. So all my pictures are squares. So let me find a square I like. Also a big fan of rounded squares. I am a fan of making all of them the same size when I do something like this. If you're not a fan of that, don't be a fan of that. It's yours. You can do whatever you want. Then I can pull them. Oh, I thought they were all squares. They're not, but that's okay. Because they're going to look great lined in those squares. I love it. This makes me want to go. All right. So now, we also probably could make this smaller so that it's all across the top if we need to. Just going to put these down here for now, and I'm going to adjust as needed. Okay.
I don't know if you know a secret to get those aligned without having to do all that.
Oh, I do. I just am seeing where I want things to be.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't know where I want them yet. All right. So I'm also a fan of putting these, not that color, because I don't like that color, but I'm a fan of making boxes to go behind words so that they stick out, but also making them a little transparent. And again, that's my preference. It might not be your preference. It's what I like to do. So now I'm going to make sure I get the right information from this trip. So we have 1, 2, 3 nights in San Jose, 1 night in Tortuguero. That's like from the word turtle in Spanish. 3 nights in San Jose, 1 night. I'm gonna spell it wrong. UG. All right. National Park. I'm going to highlight what's included. I'm actually going to go back here because I feel like it's a little easier. Oh, maybe not. So they have I'm going to go back because I want to see the actual info. Because it actually does make it a little hard for the ad to get what I need. So I'm just going to say 9 meals. I'm just going to say 9 meals included. We don't need to say which ones they are. Okay. I don't even know that I need to do includes. And I adjust this as I go, the spacing, because I know that every time I hit enter, it's just going to move on me. I'm not worried about it. And then it says they're going to go. I like to put like places they're going to go when it's a tour like this. I'm going to write that it's 3-star or higher accommodations. And I'm going to put that after where I talked about the hotels. And they go. And I'm just going to put visit and I'll put the names of places. I'll put like a list. Visit temples, volcanoes, hot springs. I like when I'm typing it in front of people, I never type right. Small towns. And I'll put like artist center, the coast, right? And more. What just happened? I hit something and it did something weird. All right. I am going to make this smaller so I have room. Or just take out the words 5-day and make it a little bit smaller. Still a little smaller. You may want to also include, I'm going to take out this English tour guide. Because 3-star or higher might not actually be as great of what people want. So we don't necessarily have to have that there. All right, I am going to move that to the front. I want to put these pictures kind of in the middle, and then I'm going to put the other information I need down below. All right. So we have to also make sure that we're including pricing and who they should be contacting. I'm going to make it smaller, but I'm going to use that same thing near the bottom. That was pure luck that that fit perfectly. Let's be 100% honest there. And then let me grab, you're not gonna let me grab what I want to, this box. Doo-doo-doo. And I'm actually gonna reverse the colors down here. If it'll let me grab that box. Let me grab the box. There we go. I might need to make it a little bit smaller. How many words? So it's August 29th to September. Let me double check. 1st. $24. And it is, let me look at the actual price because that's more than it is. Why is it not showing the individual breakdown? So 1470 divided by 2 would put us at 735, correct? Did I do my math right? Let me double check. 1470 divided by 2, $735 per person. And I am going to put on that airfare not included. And then the last thing I'm going to pop in here is my logo, which is hiding in all my uploads. So I go like this. This is my trick. I open another one and I copy and paste it. Okay. So I will share this with you guys too, so that you have it. I don't know if that's showing up bright enough. Nope. Ooh, that shows better. I like that a lot better. All right. So I love about RoomRes tours that we still get that 11% commission, and they've got lots and lots of options. All right. So I'm going to stop.